scheduled programming for the following special report.
Good evening. Approximately 7 minutes ago at 6:53 p.m., the Space Needle collapsed. Information at this point is incomplete. We do know that injuries are minimal. Fortunately, the needle was nearly empty when the accident occurred. A maintenance man who was working on the lower level has apparently been taken to Harborview's emergency room for minor injuries. Structural damage to the surrounding buildings is extensive. The Space Needle itself is beyond repair.
I was walking along Mercer here, and I heard this sound. It was like thunder, and I looked up, and it was swaying. It went over. It was like somebody just kicked the bottom out from under it. You wouldn't believe it.
It's too early, of course, to determine exactly what caused this tragedy. Certainly, recent reports of metal fatigue in the huge support girders indicated possible structural damage. In fact, we are told that the city engineer was to have received a report on possible structural dangers in the Space Needle on Monday. The Space Needle, of course, was built in 1962 as a symbol of the Seattle World's Fair. It soon became a symbol for the city itself. Normally, at this time on a Saturday evening, the Needle would have been in full operation. Fortunately, because of the basketball championships, the structure was closed down. In a way, I suppose this is the best possible time for this to have happened, although the shock may well last into the coming weeks. Again, the Space Needle has fallen down. There are no serious injuries, and although nobody knows for certain what caused this disaster, there is speculation that the weekend construction on the Metro bus tunnel may have been a factor.
We interrupt this special report so that we can take you to an even more special, totally live April Fool's edition of Almost Live.
Okay, folks. Now, I want you to use your brain for a minute, okay? Imagine if, like a local comedy show, like Saturday Night Live, let's say, they broke in for a special report and used a newscaster that was never on the show, to be an actor and to say, I'm trying to, use the example. Let's say they said that the Washington Capitol was blown up, people would take it seriously. You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't one of the regular character actors on the show that was talking about this report of the Space Needle coming down. Okay? And that's why you have to understand what you just saw was them giving you predictive programming for what is to come. Okay? For the Space Needle. There's no way they would do a joke like this. They're not that stupid, okay? And there was panic throughout the whole area of Seattle, okay? People were calling 911 and they were going nuts, the people. And of course, it has to have some, Elvis connection, because look, it almost has the word Elvis in the word live, because that was what the show was called, Almost Live, right? And it was run by a company called King TV, because it's in King County, Seattle, right? And I told you Elvis was known as the King. And that's where the Space Needle is located, in King County. And this show originally aired in '84. Look at that. If you've been watching my videos, you know what I'm talking about. And I know you guys talk about September 23rd a lot, the 9/23. But anyway, forget about that. Look who was on the show a few times. Bill Nye, the weirdo guy. Bill Nye, the science guy. And do you know when this took place? Look. April 1st, 1989, okay? Before I tell you why this is important, first let me tell you what happened. The very next day, on April 2nd, which is 4/2, 42, get it? Because Elvis died at the age of 42, and Washington is the 42nd state. Anyway, on 4/2, they apologized and said they were sorry for doing this, fake story about the needle falling. And I told you that the Space Needle is going to be destroyed, and there's going to be a spectacular event in Seattle on June 11th this year. Okay, and from April 1st, April Fool's Day, 1989, till right now, it's 33 years, 2 months, and 11 days up to this June 11th. And of course, you know the 33 code. And then 211 is George Washington's original birthday was February 11th, 1731. And they changed it to 222, 1732. Get it? 222. They changed it to 222. All right, these are not coincidences. And what else is important about 1989? And if you've been watching my latest videos, then you know that Super Bowl 56 this year is going to feature the Cincinnati Bengals and the Los Angeles Rams. And the last time the Bengals were in the Super Bowl, it was 1989, the year of that April Fool's Space Needle falling hoax. You see? The Cincinnati Bengals were in the Super Bowl, and now it's been 33 years, and the Bengals are back in. This is the first time they're in the Super Bowl again. And why is this important? Because, see, it's a Bengal is a tiger. And just like I said in my video, the last few videos, I told you that 2022 is a water tiger year. Not just a tiger year, but a water tiger year. And what makes it so special? By the way, I forgot to mention this part. You'll see what I'm talking about in a moment. That what makes this year's tiger year special is the water tiger. See, what makes this year special is because the water tiger year only happens once every 60 years. And the last one was in 1962. And that's the same year that the Space Needle opened, 1962. Do you see? Okay, now I'm going to show you what I forgot to show in those other videos about the water tiger. See, this is what I forgot to mention, the most important part. Water in gematria equals 6722, 6832, which equals the exact same as Elvis. Elvis equals 6722, 6832, exactly like water. And Elvis also equals exactly the same as the word reset. So Elvis equals water and reset. So now you understand that in 1962, when the Space Needle opened, it was an Elvis tiger year in 1962. And now in 2022, it's an Elvis tiger year. Do you get it? Water equals Elvis and reset. So like I said, the Bengals, which is a tiger, the last time they were in the Super Bowl, it was 33 years ago, and they lost to the 49ers. See, it was a 1989 Super Bowl, okay? And what makes the Super Bowl so special? Like, why am I talking about this 1989 Super Bowl besides the 33? I'm going to get to the point in a moment. So the Bengals lost to the 49ers 20-16. And I told you that these numbers are super important. This is the only time in NFL Super Bowl history has the score been 20-16 or 16-20, whichever way you want to see it. And the reason those numbers are important, okay, for this 1989 Super Bowl is because it's got the 162 or the 216, because the 162nd day of the year is June 11th, the day I'm telling you that Seattle's going to get struck. And my other prediction is August 4th, Trump gets his head wound, and that's the 216th day of the year. So you got the 216 number for August 4th and the 162 number for June 11th. Okay? Now, and also, I told you that the Joe is so important. If you've been watching my videos, the quarterback now for the Bengals is Joe Burrow. And I told you Burrow is one of the names that Elvis used to go in Alias, when he would try to be in disguise. He would use the name John Burrow. But anyway, it was at Levis Stadium. We have Joe Biden now, the quarterback Joe Burrow. And at the time, the quarterback for the 49ers was Joe Montana. Okay, and look, it was called Bebop Bamboozled. And every word starts with a B. B is the second letter of the alphabet. That'd be 222. Get it? 2022. All right. Anyway, we were talking about the Joe. And I told you Joe Montana was the quarterback for the 49ers who won that game. And Joe Montana was born on June 11th, the day I'm telling you Seattle's going to get struck. And this year, on June 11th, he becomes 66 years old, which is the word twin. Twin equals 66. And Elvis's identical twin died at birth. Okay? I told you, these are not coincidences. And I told you the 49ers beat the Bengals that year, right? And 4 times 9 is 36 for the 666. And they play their home games at Levis Stadium. Levi's is the word Elvis. You understand? It's an anagram for the word lives and Elvis. And of course, if you add an S to the word evil, evils, that's also an anagram, like Dr. Evils. And remember, I told you in that show, Austin Powers, Dr. Evils, which is an anagram for Elvis, his headquarters was in the Space Needle, you see? And later it went to a volcano. Look at that. And volcanoes have been in the news lately. Because, see, in 1989, 33 years ago, in the Super Bowl, the halftime show was Elvis Presto. He was an Elvis impersonator. Okay? Do you understand what you're seeing? And listen to this. This was the first time they had an actual person as part of the halftime show, because they usually were just marching bands. Okay? So Elvis was the first. Okay? And look, it was a 3D presentation. They gave out 26 million glasses for people to watch this in 3D from their home. And why is this important? The glasses connected to the Elvis Super Bowl show. Because the word glasses, I'm going to show you what it equals, but look first at what the numbers are. 8219, 10744 for glasses. 8219, 10744. Look, it equals Seattle. Same numbers. 8219, 10744. Do you understand why the glasses were so important? And look, CocaCola was involved in that. The CC. I told you C is the third letter. CC is 33, right? The Coca-Cola. And it's been 33 years since that Super Bowl that involved Elvis. And look, the guy who was playing Elvis Presto, his name was Alex Cole. And he was 33 years old. Do you see? You see what I'm saying? And remember, Joe Montana, I told you he was born on June 11th, the day that Seattle's going to get struck. He was the quarterback in that Super Bowl, and he won the game, right? And he was known as the comeback kid, you see? I showed all this in the other video. That's why I don't want to get into all the numbers on this, but I'm just trying to make you understand that none of this is a coincidence. That's why Elvis is the comeback kid, you understand? He's the phoenix rising out of the sea in Seattle, the beast out of the sea. And I think this is going to be the last thing I show. Look, from the day of that Super Bowl, January 22nd, 1989, to the day that I'm telling you Seattle's going to get struck, June 11th, 2022. Look at this. It's 33 years, which I already told you, 4 months and 21 days. And why is this important? And look, it's also 400 months and 21 days. So it's the 421 again, and the zeros are crowns. I told you 2 crowns, one for Elvis and Trump. But anyways, 33 years, 4 months, 21 days, 421. That's the date that the Space Needle opened. I told you, 421. And 60 years ago, the last time a water tiger year was in 1962. And this year is the water Elvis tiger year. Get it? Water equals Elvis. And of course, that's the Queen's birthday. And she could possibly die very soon, you know. And they crown a king. Do you get what I'm saying? Elvis comes back the same year. Maybe the king of England gets crowned. You know, Prince Charles becomes king. And remember, the Queen's mother was born on August 4th. You see that? You see what I'm saying? And that's my other prediction. Trump gets his head wound on August 4th, which is Obama's birthday. And don't forget, Prince Charles's father, PP, Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh, he's born one day before the 6/11, you see? 6/10. He's going to be 101 year old that day. You see? Because he died at 99 years old. But he's going to be 101. Anyway, folks, if you want to watch that halftime show, just look it up on YouTube for that Elvis show. Because there is, you know, some ritual predictive programming stuff in it. And look, they even say explosive magician. And the word magic equals 33. I told you, everything's about the 33. It was 33 years ago when this Elvis Presto halftime show happened. And the guy was 33 years old. Anyway, folks, don't mix up my 2 predictions. Trump gets his head wound on August 4th in Ohio. And Elvis somehow manifests his image or the number of his name or his name, I don't know. Somehow Elvis is brought back, you know, to life, basically, you know. Not in reality, but his name, you know. Anyway, around June 11th, after a spectacular event, like I said, Seattle. Anyway, folks, end of video.